Okay, this is my first time. I'm going to show how to make a Rachel sandwich, not a Reuben, because the Rachel sandwich is made with pastrami, whereas a Reuben is made with corned beef. So there's a little controversy about how to put it together in the skillet. Some recipes call for toasting the bread, putting the meat in the middle, flipping it upside down over and over, and heating it that way. I like to heat all the components separately at the same time and then assemble it, and you'll see why. So to get it started, we're just going to put some butter in here, some good old American butter. We're going to let that thaw and melt into the pan, all of this right here, and then we're going to flop the bread into that and get the bread toasting. Okay, so this is an easier way than instead of trying to spread the butter on the bread and get it to melt. You see you got the butter in here. I put the round side in to the corner like that, and so now we're getting a good spread of butter on the back side of the bread. I'll show you. So you get the bread on there, get the butter, get a nice good coverage on it, run this around the pan, sop up the rest of that butter. Now we're going to roll this around, and we're going to let the rounds get into the edge here and let that toast. Now, on the meat part, this is where some recipes will call for you to put the meat inside of the bread. I don't like it that way. I like my meat to be heated separately. When that's being done, and to keep it from drying out, I add just a little bit of butter in here to keep it wet. And all we're doing is we're just heating it up. Pastrami is already cooked. All I want to do is just heat this guy up to maybe 3 pieces in here. Won't take long. Turn the fire down just a bit. Let that go like that. So that way when this is hot, we will carry it over to the bread, and then I'll put the cheese on it, and that will easily melt the cheese. In just a second on the meat here, both sides. I also use tongs. Makes it a little bit easier to work it. I like to keep it rolled together. I know if you go into restaurants, they'll have it stacked up real thick. I just don't find that necessary to have to do that. So we're going to give that a second. Now remember, the bread's here. It's starting to toast. Turn that back down. We're just going to leave that alone. I like it crunchy. Some people like it more soft. Bringing that out to plate it. Okay, and now I got my meat nice and hot. I hit both sides again. Just a little bit, and it doesn't take much. We're just heating it up. I just want to heat it up versus trying to get the heat to go through the bread and up into the meat. So we're going to put this guy down like this guy down like that, this guy down like this. This is where we bring out. Now we're going to put the Swiss cheese. As you see, you're going to start moving quick here because you don't want to overcook your bread. The cheese is now going to melt a lot quicker because it's hot and it's inside a hot pan. Then we got sauerkraut. Now you don't want a lot of fluid in the sauerkraut, so I take it, give it a good squeeze like that, let it hit the pan. Put as much sauerkraut as you want depending on your style. That's about the size of the bread, and it'll easily cover it. It just takes just a minute for that to heat up. We'll put that on there. Now, this calls for 1,000 dressing, 1,000 Island. You could pour it on the meat. I don't like it. I like putting it in a bowl and dipping it. That way it's not all wet and sloppy while you're trying to eat this sandwich. And so we're almost done with this sandwich. I'm going to get this sauerkraut hot. About another minute into this deal right here. Give that a minute, give that sauerkraut a chance to toast up. As you can see, my cheese is already melting because it's been sitting on there. I'm going to put this right on top and pile it up, try to make it like a row. And I'm going to scrape that up. Almost done. We're about 3 minutes into this, not even that. And put that right on top. And we bring our bread into the round to the front. Got a nice toast. Mash that on there. I'll bring the plate over here. Mash it down. And that's it. A Rachel sandwich. Ready to go. We're going to pour this 1,000 into here. Pour that little fella up for dipping. I'll let that rest for a second. I'll slice it in half. There's my dip. And we're good to go. So that's how Dan the Man does a Rachel sandwich.